This is how I plan for the year. So I normally break it down and separate it into five different categories, but this year I decided to add three more just for myself. So the first is the spiritual. This is number one for me because it's the most important for me. And this is basically to do with my relationship with God. So, what does the spiritual entail for me? It entails two things, that's prayer and the word. And so, normally when I start to do my planning for the year, it's after I have done a reflection of the previous year and identifying in how I feathered in each of the different categories. So, it also helps me to identify my weaknesses and help me know what I need to work on better in the coming year. One of the things that was lacking for me in this category the previous year was consistency. So it's one of my main goals this year. So that is category number one, prayer and the word. And so because it is important for me and I'm trying to build consistency, what I'm doing is I'm allocating a time for it every day, a specific time of devotion every day to spend time in prayer and the word. Because if you're like me and you have a relationship with Christ, then it is something that you do continually, and throughout the day you're going to have a lot of moments. But I just want to set out a time specifically every day in the morning to know that I had a 1 hour devotion, to know that if the even if I have the busiest day out there, I know before the day started, at least I spent some time with the Lord. So for this, I allocate 1 hour and divide it into two. So 30 minutes for prayer every morning and 30 minutes for the word. One of my goals this year is to go through the Bible from the beginning to the end, go through all the books, but I'm going to do that with the audio. And so I researched how long it would take me to go through the audio Bible. And if I allocate roughly about 15 minutes every day for the audio Bible, then by the end of the year, I would have gone through the entire Bible, which is great because 15 minutes is not too much time within a day that, like, it feels strenuous having to do it. So, 15 minutes of that, and then 15 minutes spent in meditation and basically chewing upon a specific scripture, whatever scripture the Lord is using to teach me or to chastise me in that season. Every morning, I spend my 15 minutes with that, and then 30 minutes with prayer. So that is category one. That is the spiritual. Then category two is the mental. So what is the mental category? The mental category is basically skills and habits and all the things that you want to do and to incorporate into your life that help you build the right mindset, that help you build the right spiritual, physical, and mental habits, their foundations, things like consistency, timekeeping. If you want to implement a new habit, this is the category. If you want to start reading a book every day, or you have a target of reading 12 books in the year, this is the category that has to do with building your mind, building skill, building yourself. This is the mental category. So whatever you have, I mean, the things that I have in this category will be different from the things that you have because we each have different things that we are trying to work on and trying to learn and trying to build. So, in this regard, I have a few things. For instance, one of the things here for me is Spanish. I want to get to a comfortable level of Spanish speaking and comprehension this year. And so that is one of the things here. And because this is a plan for the year, in each of these categories, when I list down something, I make sure I create a plan for this thing too. So under the mental, you could have like three things, maybe like learning a language, maybe like learning an instrument, and maybe reading a book. So break it down, make the plan so simple and so easy that you can follow through day by day. Maybe the general thing is reading books, right? Okay, reading books. This year, how many books do you want to read? 12. Okay, great. So 12 books. There are 12 months in the year. That means I can read one book each month. That's great. How many pages on average does each of these books have? If it has about 300 pages, let's say, okay, if I'm going to read one book in a month and that one book has 300 pages, and every month has an average of 30 days, so 300 divided by 30 will be 10. So that makes it that I have to read at least 10 pages of a book every day. And then you can go even farther and break it down. Okay, if I have to read 10 pages every day, then how can I get through 10 pages in an entire day? Are you going to allocate maybe 30 minutes every day to read the 10 pages at once, or are you going to read one page every hour? You read one page every hour, you read another page every hour, and by the end of the day you've read the 10 pages. Whatever you decide to do, create a system for each of these things. This is not the video where I'm going to dive into the systems for each of this because then it will be so prolonged. But I'm just trying to give you a guideline and an idea of how to plan for it. Then, category three is the financial. If you have a business, if you have a job, if you have a source of income, this is where you plan. I usually break this one down into five categories. So category one would be like, for instance, if you're a business owner, what are your business plans for the year? What do you want to do? Do you want to increase your clientele? Do you want to increase your profits this year? Whatever it is, whatever your goal is, this is the category. Don't just write the goals, but plan how you would intend to achieve each of those goals daily, weekly, monthly. I usually, when I'm planning for the year, I usually do it weekly. So each goal that it is, I have like 50 things under it, which are things that I can attain and achieve each week and look back and be like, yeah, I did that. So make that business plan, make your strategy and your plan and your targets for the year. Then, two, which is for me the most important part, is, and I usually don't even consider it, but just for the, because it's second nature at this point, but just for the video purposes, is tithing. This is the part where I give 10% of my earnings, of each month's earnings, to the Lord. It's a non negotiable, non debatable. It can be more, but never less. And it's just something that I do. For me, it's under this category, and that's not going to change. Then, three, then you can plan your expenses. You have general expenses every year, and categorize your expenses into things that are wants and things that are needs. And this is the category. You can plan and allocate a specific percentage of your income towards this. That is category three. I don't want to get into depth. Maybe with different videos, I'll get into depth of each and every specific category. But then category three will be expenses. Then category four under here will be your investments, and category five will be your savings. So basically, how much do you want to have saved at the end of the year? So maybe you want to have saved $365. Okay, $365. I want to have $365 at the end of the year saved in my account. Okay, great. If it's $365, what does that mean? What does that mean in terms of every month? What does that mean in terms of every week? What does that mean in terms of every day? You break it down to as little as possible, as simple as it can. And with $365 at the end of the year, that means you have to save a dollar every day. That makes it simple. It makes it attainable. It makes it that every day you're reminded, okay, I have to save a dollar, 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 and you get the point. These are the categories under financial. The same goes for investing. Then category four is physical. So this is the category where you're talking about your meal plans. This is the category where you're talking about exercise. If you play a sport, this is the category. Plan out what you're going to do in regards to that. Plan out your gym plan for the year. Like, okay, these are the exercises I'm going to be doing. What am I doing? Am I bulking? Am I cutting? Am I maintaining? What am I going to eat? Weigh what you've eaten in the past. Look at your eating habits. What eating habits do you want to change? Which ones do you want to implement? Which ones do you want to switch around? This is the category. Plan for that.